Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric, and we're back with another box of Gothic. My first video that I uploaded opening Gothic was the first unboxing of a new set. So I took my sweet time with it. We looked and read every single card and really took moments, just soaking it all in essentially. But admittedly, it was very long. It was a 3-hour video, and I don't apologize for that. I'll probably do that with every first box from a new set that comes out. However, this being the second unboxing of Gothic on the channel, I figured we can do another one that will go just a little bit faster. And that's upside down, isn't it? All right. So yeah, not that we have a time limit or I'm planning to rush through this or anything, but just in the effort of doing a second unboxing that's just a little bit faster. This is the second box that I'm opening here on the channel of Gothic. Welcome if you're new. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy Sorcery at all. I am and also plan to uploading all sorts of Sorcery content, including going to events and uploading recaps of that. Please be sure to check out the channel for my other videos for that sort of content. So we're not gonna look at the entire box. Super close here. You've seen it, you know it, you love it. Dust coat on the bottom here. Super awesome product. And we're just gonna get right into it. What cards am I looking for? You might ask. Here are the tokens, by the way. Super cool. Personally, I'm a water player and I am looking to get some cards in particular, but there's one card that is a unique specifically that I'm hunting for, and it's called Putrid Presence. It's a card that reads, it's a unique monster of immanentism. I'll have to Google that word, and no mana. I'll have to Google that too. It has Submerge and Burrowing for 4 mana, only 1 power, but it's a passive ability or whatever you want to call it. Active ability. I'm not sure what you call that, but it is the effect of Submerge, Burrowing, and the subsurface of nearby sites can be attacked. I think that's super cool. As a water player, I would love to play a bunch of minions that can submerge. And yeah, so I'm looking for that card. It sells right now for about $25, but the set also just came out, so whether or not it'll stay at that price or go even higher is yet to be seen. But again, thanks for tuning in. Let's get right into it. Hauntless Head. Actually, and I'm sorry, if there's any exceptionals I have not seen, I am going to read them. So, an exceptional spirit in search of some body. Oh, maybe we have seen this, because I recall reading that. Maybe, and let me know if I pull a curio here, because maybe it's an art I haven't seen. Has Spellcaster Void Walk. At the start of your turn, it teleports to a random site. Yeah, so there's Headless Haunt, I think, and now there's Hauntless Head, so that's kind of the joke. And our rare is a Bleeding Skull. I don't think I have this yet. And it reads, whenever a minion dies nearby, your opponent loses 1 life. Whenever any minion dies. So that could be cool to play in maybe like a sacrifice deck where you are able to force that death. All right, I just separate my sites. I have seen... Let's see here. Ordinaries, and I'll put exceptionals there. How's that? Okay. I have seen some of the curios, which I was not familiar with. I should probably actually pull it up on the websites. Yeah, I'll do that in just a second. I have them in my head, but I can't remember their names. Vesper Swarm. Once on your turn, you may fly to a wounded minion. That's pretty cool. Fatality and the Haystack. And we got a Greater Blood Demon as our rare, which is cool, but it does come in the precon decks, so it's not necessary to have. Let's see. Sorry, just figuring out my piles here. I've got those there. I'm gonna do exceptionals here, and then the sites for the exceptionals. I suppose right there. Okay, thanks for bearing with me there. But yeah, Genesis, you lose 4 life, so. It has 6 power, which is very powerful, but you do have to pay to play with it. And there are some cards in this new set that actually want you to lose life. So I imagine we're gonna see, you know, some decks that benefit from hurting themselves. I know Gossamer Ghosts is one of the cards you want to look for a Curio. It is a completely different art, so it's pretty obvious, but if you're new to the set and have never seen it, the alternate looks like a guy standing in the window with like glasses on. So just to be aware of that. This is my third box in total. Black Mass. Do I already have this? I'm actually not sure. Search your top 7 spells, and you may reveal and draw 3 different evil minions from among them, and then put the rest at the bottom. I think I do already have this, so that's our first unique. And I think it's a duplicate. So unless I'm wanting to play it in the duplicator decks, if you've seen that avatar, it's a new avatar that allows you to, your site, or your spellbook rather, and your atlas as well. So your, like, basically your lands and all your spells must be unique, but you can have multiples of them. So in Sorcery, you can only have 1 unique by default in your deck. Kind of the mythic level of rarity if you're coming from other games like Magic, which I find really cool, because once you pull a unique like this card, I only need 1 copy. I'm not one to collect. Persecutor in the exceptional avatar slot. I might just make a separate pile for any avatars we get. I already have that card. Okay. Well, that's interesting. We got a Persecutor and a Savior in the same pack. That's pretty cool. So they're just in the exceptional slot. Really, Savior is one of my favorite arts in the whole set. It is a pre-con avatar, but this art of it is just super cool, and it's by Elvira. River Rapids. Ooh, I might need this because I'm water. Once on your turn, you may push a minion on connected rivers 1 step. Yeah, I probably will need this. I started building a deck on Curiosa. I'll make sure I share it with people once it's actually built, because I'm new to building decks and frankly a little embarrassed that my deck building skills might not be, up to snuff. But it does include 2 copies of that, and I believe that's my 2nd copy. And I also might be running Sea Witches as well. It's a 2-power spellcaster that can submerge. So I'm gonna play test with the deck, I think, without this card, and have it in my maybe board, which you can do, by the way, on Curiosa.io. If you ever want to build decks, you can add things to a maybe board so that you don't lose them, and you can kind of swap them in and out a little easier. Bitter Departed. Genesis. If an ally died last turn, you may teleport to the killer to strike it for 2. That's pretty cool. Avenging Angel. Similar effect. If something died on your opponent's last turn, it has charge and lethal. And then our rare is a Lucid Dreamers. I don't know if I have this card yet, but if I do, this is my 2nd copy, obviously. Elite Mortals on the Shores of Imagination. It has a lot of Void Walk in this set. So 2-power Void Walk for 2. You may cast minions to this void, granting them Void Walk until they are no longer in the void. So this would be really fun to play in a Void Walk deck. In order to, you can get your non-Void Walk creatures also into the void. Super, super cool. Yeah, I think if you bear with me here, I'm just going to quickly pull up it's Collector. Let's see. Collector Art House Curios for Gothic. It's City of Glass, Desecrate, Fallen Angel, Gift of the Frog, Gossamer Ghost. The Realm Eater one is super obvious, and so is the Manor at Dapperel Hill. City of Glass is really obvious too. It's the other ones that are not so obvious. I'd love to get a Gift of the Frog. The only difference of the Curio is that it has a bow on its head, which is super cool, super cute. Because I plan to run 3 or 4 copies of that card in my decks. I want to build a frog sacrifice deck. Arcade of Bones. I didn't realize arcade actually means I don't know, these gates, a column row of gates, I guess is the actual definition of the word arcade. I've always just known it as video games, obviously, but an elite monument to the quickened dead. While in this row, undead move freely and can't be targeted or damaged by magic. That's interesting. It says the way is straight. The toll is breath. Huh. So you lose your breath if you want to get it. That's okay. That's pretty cool. That's well written. Interesting. So it's Dan Seagrave. So you're playing with undead, and on this, there's a lot of like row and column stuff in this set, which is really cool. They can move freely and can't be targeted. So like that row is like and that fits thematically. It's like if you could almost play it like sideways this way if you think of it that way. It's like a column row of death. That's really cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this set as much as I am. Ooh, we do have our first foil in this pack. I think you'd be hard pressed to not like this set, but you know, maybe Gothic isn't everyone's cup of tea. Overflow. Hey, that's cool. I don't know if I'm actually going to play this in my decks. I tried to add it in my deck, but just had to make some cuts. You draw a site, and then you may play a water site. So it's like just a free ramp spell, essentially. And I am a water player, so I am happy to see my first foil in the form of water. What do you guys think of Overflow? I don't know if it's any better than, you know, my Riptides and my Shapeshifts. I could maybe take one Riptide out for one of these, perhaps. That could maybe be acceptable. Either way, even if it's like bad, I will consider playing with it just to like try it out. Like, you know, it's a new set. We should try the cards. I'm not the best at analyzing cards on whether or not they're going to be good or not. I'm much better at just putting a crummy deck together, playing with it, and then learning through that. You know, I'll play with it, and if a card after 3 games has done nothing for me, then you kind of figure out, all right, this isn't as good as I thought, and learn that way. Wuthering Heights. I think I have this. Yeah, I do. This is my second copy, I think. Once on your turn, you may fly a minion atop here onto a nearby site. So this is good for like Avatar of Air sort of decks where you want to push things around from site to site. So yeah, just looking for potential curios essentially and foils. So we're making some progress here. I have to say, I really, really enjoyed the last unboxing I did, although I know not everyone maybe wants to listen to or watch a 3-hour unboxing. Base of Babel is cool in the exceptional slot. But I really enjoyed doing it. And I think I always will, like I said, for a new set. Corpse Explosion. It's an elite magic that administers blast rights, and it says deal a dead minion to each site in a 2x2 area. Deal a dead minion, okay, and then deal damage equal to each corpse's power to units there, then banish the corpses. And it says he went out with a bang. That's really pretty cool. So stuff's in the graveyard, and it says deal a dead minion to each site. So it could be in any, in either cemetery. And 2x2 would be 4. So yeah, you just pick, okay, I want the 7 power guy here, I want the 2 power guy here, and then they all deal damage equal to that amount. That's cool. I'm not much of a red player myself, not that I never would play red. You just kind of have to pick an archetype sometimes and kind of lean into it. So this is one of the cards that could be a curio. If it has a red bow on it, that's a curio. Otherwise, it's just a frog. But I love Gift of the Frog. I think it's going to be... I want to find, like building a frog deck is cool. And I'm using the Interrogator avatar. Because even striking for 0 counts as a strike. That would trigger the Interrogator's effect against your opponent. I think this is a... Oh, it's an elite. Okay. I think this is my second copy. The Mismanaged Mortuary. I love that naming, and just it's mismanaged, it's a mess. It's an elite site of Macabre Mix-Up. It's flooded, so I guess I could run this in water. I should probably remember that. It's a flooded site with no threshold, but you treat your opponent's cemetery as yours and vice versa. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this would be, what is that, like a hard counter to Archimag. I'm gonna take a sip of tea here, one sec. I don't know. I mean, is it graveyard hate, or is it better played? Are there more cards in water that I'm not considering that? I guess you don't necessarily have to play water with the flooded site, but oh, we got our next foil. Is it that Are there more things? Are there more water cards in the set that interact with the graveyard than I think? I don't know if, like, off the top of my head, I don't know if there are any. There must be some, but I'm not really sure. Oh, wow. Big hit. Oh, wow. We got the rack. And I think this is my second copy of the rack. But that's a foil. That's a foil unique, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Big hit. Look at that full art. The coloring on that is so cool. It's like the rack itself, and I'm no artist, you know, but just the rack itself isn't like drawn to realism. It's more of like a cartoony looking kind of almost a Cartoon Network, you know, just it's not going for realism, but the coloring around it is so well done. So it's not a bash that this looks bad. It's just like at first glance, you're like, oh, it's kind of just like a cartoony looking thing. But with that, and look at that foiling. I know it's a little out of focus, but I hope you can appreciate I don't want to say the layering, but like where it does and where it doesn't shine. It's just so cool. And I'm going to read what it does again. I forget. It's something where you like stretch someone across the realm. It's super weird. So let me read it. The Rack, a unique device that encourages growth, by Zon D. Whenever the bearer strikes an avatar, okay. Whenever the bearer strikes an avatar, stretch them so that they also occupy another adjacent location. Then they lose 1 life for each location that they occupy. So let's get a sleeve on this and actually pause on the opening of packs to talk through that. The FAQ on this card must get, this is going to get crazy. So wait a minute. I've got, let's just say in a perfect world, I've got a failed mutation here, right? His avatar is here. And I equip this with the rack. I move and attack. I get it for 4 damage. Then, since I striked it, I stretch it so that it also occupies an adjacent location. So I would probably naturally choose the location that the avatar would maybe try to escape to, for example. But let's just say for this example, I'll go this way. So I want this to be, so now I'm stretched. Then do I take damage or life? I lose life. So I lose 2 life based off of that. But now I'm this minion that's lengthwise, like hot dog this way. So if I do a move and attack here, I can move and attack not only a site, but probably also, I guess that's a question I have, and let me know in the comments if you happen to know, but with a giant, I know that there are like giants in the game that occupy 4 sites. When you move and attack with the giant, are you attacking multiple sites, but also can I do, because I guess if you moved and attacked a specific minion, you're probably attacking just that minion or just that avatar. It's not like a sweep. I guess that was going to be my question. Like if there was 1 minion here and 1 here, can I move and attack them both? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to look it up right now in the video. I'll do it in my own time later. But that's the rack. That's a foil. Super, super cool. Almost like graffiti coloring on that. I am so happy to get that. Now, I am the kind of collector that is more interested in having 1 play copy of every card in a set so that I can build decks with it rather than have like, you know, the foil art. So this to me is a lottery ticket. I'm going to sell this. If there's anyone interested in the comments in trading or purchasing that card, you are welcome to let me know. And I also have a marketplace profile and page on the Sorcery marketplace. I'm not hard to find. You know, if you have any trouble finding it, maybe let me know in the comments and I can help you out. But yeah, I will happily trade and or sell that to fund some more Sorcery. That's my whole goal. You pull something worth $200, sell it, buy another box. Super, super lucky hit. Hey, and my first, well, actually these two come in the precons, but my first time pulling one of my new favorite arts, the Faith Incarnate. Look at that. An elite spirit of prayer made manifest by Scott Kirshner. I watched his interview discussing this card and was absolutely blown away with it. It's equally terrifying, equally holy. It's just exactly what this set is wanting to be. It's obviously depicting the Lord Jesus Christ, but it has his face like twisted and mangled. It almost looks like I think a lot of people make this comparison because it's easy to do. Is Junji Ito, like Uzumaki Spiral. If you've ever seen that Japanese manga artist, it's a horror manga, kind of that kind of vibe going on his face, where it's just something is off. That's so cool. It has +2 power for each ward in the realm. So it has 5, it costs 5 and it's 2 earth, but it comes in and if you have 3 wards, that's a 6/6. Pretty cool. I have a feeling wards are going to be, I don't want to say broken, because but I have a feeling someone can find a way to make them feel pretty broken. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to play against it. I probably won't build any ward decks, but I am curious to see what people do. Man, that was such a cool hit. The foil unique. They're hard to hit in this game. They're very, very hard to hit. Fields of Fixus, Toolbox, Order of the Sacred Oak. I forget this one. Exceptional mortals, guardians of nature. They have ward and the nearby sites can't be destroyed by your opponent. And our rare is a Nadir Seed. I think this is my first copy. It's an elite relic of squandered potential. And at the end of their turn, this site's controller loses life equal to their unspent mana. Interesting. This site's controller. So I guess ideally you would, at the end of their turn, you would cast this into one of your minions that is on their site, or a minion that's on the field already, and then move and attack onto their site, and then drop this thing. Although wait, you can't drop after moving and attacking, can you? You get my point. Try to get this into the hands of one of your minions, get it onto theirs, and then drop it. Can you drop if you just do a move, but don't attack? Well, I think move and attack is an action of itself, and even if you don't attack, I don't think you can. At the end of their turn, they lose life equal to their unspent mana. That's interesting. It sounds good, but at the end of the day, your opponent, unless you discard, you would have to play a deck that wants, like, or I don't know, just one idea. You'd maybe want to play a deck that makes them discard all of their cards so that they can't spend their mana. Or like a witch that makes all their spells cost more, right? You're forcing them to spend all their mana to not lose life. Could be really good. But then they could also just swap it back onto your site and then you're losing life, so gotta be careful with swap. Consecrated Ground is an awesome artwork. Hey, nice. I now have a playset of Sinister Pond. This is a really interesting card. I didn't understand it at first, so I'll just read it for you guys in case you're curious. So Sinister Pond, it's an elite site of deceptive tranquility. It says mortals here may transform into evil from hand by paying the difference in cost. For some reason, when I first read this, I didn't understand it. And then someone was asking in the Reddit, and I looked at it and people answered, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. If I just have a frog on here, for example, in my frog deck, and I have anything evil in my hand, so that's undead, that is a monster or a demon, I may transform that frog into that card by just paying the difference in mana cost. So a frog wouldn't be great because I'd have to pay the full mana cost, so there's not really any benefit. But ideally, you're maybe you have like a pirate ship, or because that costs 4, or a Lugbog cat that costs 3 technically, but you can cheat it for 2 with a pawn. You get my point. So let's say something costs 3 mana here, and you've already gotten some use out of it, but you have a monster that's 7. Now on your 4th turn, you can transform that 3 mana, minion into a 7 mana one for only 4 mana. If that makes sense. So I may want to consider running 1 or 2 of these in my own deck. I'm gonna have to look back at my current deck build and see how many evil minions are in the deck and how much they cost, and then also what minions I would ideally want to transform them into. Because right now, I'm trying to build a deck with that utilizes frogs, and then I'm trying to see how I can kind of exploit the frogs, you know, buffing them up. The main idea, Harbinger in the exceptional slot. Iron Maiden, pause that thought. I haven't opened this yet. Matthias Frisk, that's really cool. It's a classic Iron Maiden. Torture device. An elite device, make yourself comfortable. That's great. Whenever a nearby avatar draws a card, they lose life equal to the number of cards they've drawn this turn. So at the very least, every turn they would lose one. And if they draw more, they lose more. That may be hard to get, you know, going, but still cool. Pings them for one every turn until they can get rid of it. But yeah, back to that thought. I'm trying to, you know, I'm just enjoying, you know, being a new player and being, brewing. It's like, what my thinking is like, pick one of the new avatars, pick an archetype you like, you know, ideally one that kind of goes with that avatar, and then just try to build a deck and start playing with it. And worst case, you're playing with a bunch of cards that aren't very good, and then you're going to learn, oh, well, those aren't very good, but I know why they're not good. I don't just take someone else's word for it. So I'm basically putting together the Interrogator, which reads, whenever I successfully strike against their avatar, they either lose 3 life or I draw a card, and they get to choose. But, I mean, them losing 3 life, they'll obviously choose, like, the lesser of 2 evils. But either they're losing 3 life in addition to my strike, or I get to draw a card. So, you know. So my thought was getting a ton of frogs on their side of the field and hitting their avatar. So it's like, all right, I have 2 frogs that can hit. That's either 6 damage or 2 drawn cards or vice versa. But if I can pump those frogs to do more in addition to just that effect, I think that could be cool. But I'm not really sure what else I want to do there. So I'm still figuring that out. Cranky Overseer. An elite demon will see the work done. By Lindsay Crummett. That's awesome. All these, like, they look like slaves or something in a line. That's really cool. Mortar sort of vibes. Once on your turn, the Overseer may deal 1 damage to a target adjacent ordinary minion to untap it. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so it's like the, I forget what it's called, but there's like a flame whip in the set where you can do that to one of your minions. You whip it, it takes 1 damage, but it wakes it up and then it can attack again. That's just thematically really cool. It says, "Move, ye curs, idle hands to the devil's workshop." Gosh, what a fun set. The only bummer with, now that it's out, I think everybody's pretty happy, but oh, I thought that was another foil unique. Still really cool though. Witching Hour, one of my favorite new arts, and we have it in foil. Again, I'll probably be selling my foils to trade up for playsets of the whole of, you know, I want a playset of the whole entire set. But an exceptional magic, your evil, spellcaster, and spirit allies gain airborne and +1 this turn. So ideally, you're playing this in any deck that runs either evil, spellcasters, or spirits. Midnight Bell's toll, but not for thee. Let's get a look at the back and get that in a sleeve. Look at that. If you're gonna pull any foil exceptional, I think that's not a bad one, huh? That's really cool. And it's kind of a the Sorcery loves to hide little Easter eggs in their full art. So you can see here, really cool art. It's kind of this melting clock. Looks like there's some witches and stuff that are not only just witches, but they're evil, they're spellcasters, they're spirits, you know, one of the 3. So it fits all of that. But when you flip it over, wait a minute, what's all this? There's like some tentacles down here, you know, obviously evil. Maybe they're pulling them in, who knows? But that is not visible on the front. So that's a fun little thing that you'll find in Sorcery, is that a lot of the foils will have hidden little Easter eggs that you otherwise couldn't see. No curios. I don't anticipate on ever opening one, but you know what? If I play this game for 10 years, I'm bound to open one on accident at some point, right? I don't buy these boxes looking for curios, but Water Spellcaster, Fatality. That's cool. And then the Peacemaker. This one deals 1 extra damage to certain types. I'm just curious what it is again. An elite weapon with an urge to purge. The bearer has ranged, and its strike deals 1 more damage to units of each of the following that they are. So if it's multiple of that, it'll hit it for like, you know, the minion's power +1/+1, if it is any of the following: evil, artifact bearers, spellcasters, voidwalkers, submergers, burrowers, and frogs. So that, I need to look out for this against my froggies. It's the hard counter to my frogs. Lash was the card I was thinking of, where you can slap one of your own guys for 1 damage to untap it. Very cool. I've also seen you guys, I was watching someone else opening, I think it was Kitchen Table Magic. He was doing a live stream today opening a ton of boxes, which is very, I think we got a foil in here. Satisfying to watch. Hey, Ormanfester, nice. I believe this is my second copy, and I wanted to run at least one of these in my water deck. An elite monster leeches off the land. It has Burrowing and Submerge, and at the end of your turn, you deal 1 damage to this site, and you heal 1. It has Submerge, so I imagine you can deal that underwater. So the deck I want to build... Oh, yeah, I should have said this right from the get-go. I apologize. No, I did say it. There is... Did I say this? I hope I did. I probably interrupted myself, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm looking for 1 card in particular. No, I did talk about that. Never mind. Putrid Presence is what I'm looking for, but this fits within that, right? It's like I'm under the water and I'm stinging you for 1 every turn. If they don't have a way to deal with the submerged minions that, you know, they're going to take damage, and then if I can find a Putrid Presence, I can attack underwater. Now, it does make me probably vulnerable, because there are some spells in the set that say destroy everything that's underwater, then do something, or destroy everything that's on the subsurface. So there are answers to being a complete submerged deck. So it's probably way too vulnerable leaning everything into submerge, but hey, what better way to learn than to just give it the old try. Give it a try if we get another Persecutor. So these are pretty common. Give it a try, and then I'll probably take out some of those effects and then make it into like a steam version, meaning I add in some fire with water or earth with water, something to that effect. Mur's Trophy Room. Hey, I don't think I have this yet, and it's a unique. So it's the only copy I'll ever need unless I play a duplicator. A unique site of Taxidermied Triumph. It provides an additional 1 mana for each unique minion in your opponent's cemetery. Provides an additional 1 for each. So you would have, it's a site for each unique minion in opponent's cemetery. So what was that card we looked at earlier where you treat their... So does this... If I had a bunch of uniques in my own deck, and then I played Mismanaged Mortuary, which is flooded, I treat your opponent's cemetery as my own, but mine as his or hers. So if I could like get 1 or 2 of my own uniques into my graveyard, and then I cast this, I'm not saying it's good, I'm just looking for little combos here. It would provide me 2 additional. So not just 1 for each, I would get 3 from this every turn. So it could be good in the right deck. Super cool, and it's unique. So I'll make a unique sites pile here. Heck yeah. Oh, and we got our next foil in this pack. I can see it. I think it's fire. I'd be even happier if it was an Aether Core. There's 1 core in this set, and it goes into the void. You have to give it to something with Void Walk. Wow, it's a foil elite. Whoa! The foiling is so cool. And this is my first copy of Hemogoblin, I think. Unless it's in the precons. I don't know if it is. Look at that foiling. Oh my. Sorcery just does... this is... Look at that. Woohoo! 2 for 2. It's an elite fairy with a peculiar palette. It says... Genesis and Deathrite. Set players' maximum life to their current life. That's cool. That's really interesting. So if you're playing in a deck, I mean, that's fire, right? So maybe you're playing aggro where you still have 20 life, but they're at 16 life. Genesis, now they can only go up to 16. A few turns later, this thing dies and they're at 14. All right, well, you're now capped at 14 if you were looking to heal, my man. That's cool. If anyone's looking to trade for any of the foils, or if I mention that I have like, oh, that's my second copy or something like that, Um, I'm always open to trades. And you know, I mean, feel free to leave a comment. I don't know if we can necessarily like make a deal in the comments, but you can let me know, and then we could speak in the DMs. But usually any actual trades I have for Sorcery will go into the love the all active volcano art. I put this in the thumbnail. I took just the head from this and put it in the corner of my last unboxing because I just think the face is kind of hilarious, also creepy and awesome. But I actually mixed it because it. See how this art is in the middle? So I had a hard time making a thumbnail with it. So I put that and then added like a transparent gradient to it in the corner. And then rather than just use this site as like, you know, again, like duplicated, I used the basic fire site that comes in the draft kits, or maybe it's not the draft kits. I don't know, but it was another artwork from Gothic. And it you almost can't tell. So, but if you go back and look at my other video and the thumbnail, you may catch it. But it's actually, it has the face from this card, but like the other art is not actually the same card, but it worked enough that I thought it looked cool, so I went for it. But I cheated a little there. And let's see. Ooh, Onslaught. What is? It's another Juan Machuca. I have seen this, but I just forgot what it does. This turn, allies gain +1 power, charge, and can't be immobilized, silenced, or disabled. That's really cool. And our rare. I've heard this site is very good. I have pulled one, but I forget exactly what it does. An elite site to burn out the blight. If there are 3 or more dead minions, banish all cemeteries. So yeah, just really good graveyard hate. When played at the right time. That's very, very cool. All right, we're just past the halfway point here. Yeah, let me know if you guys enjoy doing these kind of unboxings. I'm kind of the type of content creator where I'm either editing a very, very edited, like almost not, yeah, okay, documentary style video, you know, recapping an event or something. I'm either doing that or I'm doing like a podcast where I just talk. So this is like, for me, pretty fun. It's really fun. Hey, nice. Well, this is my second interrogator, so if there's anyone looking for one, I'll probably just add it to my trade binder. I don't know if it goes in the rare slot, so I don't know if it's unique or elite level rarity, but either way, I know there are people in my play group looking for this card, so I imagine I'll just trade it to one of them, but again, anything that I don't need a second copy of, I am always looking to trade. That's super cool. So that is the avatar that I plan to build my frog deck around, and so it's a lot, everything submerging, but everything that can emerge, it's gonna have cards that can like Polar Explorers, so all my frogs can jump to the backside of the realm and hit them there, hitting his avatar. But if I can't get over there, if he locks it down, I'll just submerge and attack him from below. It's kind of the idea. Will it be good? I have no idea. Will it be fun to build? Oh yeah. I'm already having fun just thinking about it, you know? And then all my other friends, or, you know, people, other players in my local play group that are coming up with their own ideas will play our decks together and give each other feedback. And it's going to be such a fun next few months, and I cannot wait. Nice. Our next, very cool naming on this, the Satanic Panic. It's what happened to Dungeons and Dragons back in the 80s. All the parents thought it was Satan's game. Dungeons and Dragons. Satan's game. The Satanic Panic. It is a unique magic of hair-brained heresy. Another Juan Machuca. I'm starting to really recognize his art. The faces of his guys look similar in a way, like, I don't want to say because they all look like Uggo, but they kind of have this kind of, you know, kind of cavemanish sort of vibe going for him. I really like it. It says kill all demons and one other target minion. Interesting. Okay. So at the very least, you kill all demons and then you target. So at the very least, you pay 5 and kill one target minion. That's still pretty good. Better wrong together than right. Better wrong together than right alone. Interesting. That's cool. I haven't seen that one yet. There's so many cards I still haven't seen yet. You know, I haven't purposely gone out to try to. That almost looked foil. No, okay. To spoil the cards. I'm just kind of, you know, naturally learning about them as I naturally come across them. But we have a long year, so I'm gonna naturally do drafts and all sorts of ways to learn about the new cards. I'm gonna get this interrogator into a sleeve. And I'll actually do that for the other unique as well. Should do it for all the uniques, actually. Just to show some respect for the rarity here. So I'm still missing, I think, 5 of the avatars. I know there's the, oh boy, there's the Realm Eater. I don't have that yet. There's the, forget the name, but it's wearing kind of like a mime-looking mask. And I don't even know the other ones I'm missing, to be honest. Another Savior. So, for example, this is my second copy of City of Plenty. One of my favorite arts from the set, but I don't need this second copy. Is it worth a lot of money? I doubt it. Let's see. It's water, and it says provides 2 instead, but it also provides 1 for your opponent. So you can play this. Oh, it doesn't provide water, but if you have water, it like ramps me up. So I may even want to consider building kind of a like a ramp deck. Gosh, there was another card I was looking at today that escapes me that I was considering adding into my water deck. I'll call back to it if I remember. Was it Snallygaster that was one of the... No, Gossamer Ghost. One of the potential curios. Oh, yes! Yes, yes, yes. I really wanted... There's Salt of the Earth and then Sow the Earth. Sow the Earth is the one I really, really want, but this is still awesome to get its other half. This one is called... Oh, here, I guess I can do this before. Salt of the Earth for 4 and 3 Air Threshold by Brian Smith. A unique aura where nothing shall grow. It says, conjure salt the earth to a single site, destroying it. Sites can't be played here. Whoa. So it becomes a permanent rubble, essentially. Turn something into a permanent... Yeah, it's an aura, but it only goes to a single site. However, it is an aura, so things can't grow there. Sites can't be played there, but if they destroy the aura with a disenchant or a dispel or something, then obviously they can. But... thematically really cool. Just salt getting thrown onto a, I don't want to say Salt Bay, but I guess I have to say it. Salt Bay onto the site. And no one can cast to it, so that sounds pretty cool. Stagecoach. An elite mortal delivers new blood. It says charge. You can carry any number of minions. Oh, I have seen this. That's really cool. So it's like, all aboard. Get them all on there and move across. You could probably do some really hilarious interactions with that. Very cool. Yep, that was a curio. Someday, right? I mean, I would imagine as this game goes on, it's been out for what, 3 years? You know, let's say in 5 years from now, and all of you guys watching and myself included, we're now 2/3 of the way done, and we're at 43 minutes, I think. So not bad time. I'm not trying to rush. To me, this feels like rushing, by the way. I feel like I'm going really, really fast. Whoa, wait a minute. I just saw... Wait a minute. I hope I'm not getting my hopes up, but I just saw a white border. And, okay, okay. I don't want to get my hopes up here. I might start shaking. However, I know that there is one curio called the Realm Eater Sketch that is white. I'm looking at it right now. Okay. I don't want to get my hopes up. I could be totally... Maybe I saw a foil just shining in the reflection and it looked white to me. I have to be honest, I'm kind of shaking. Let's see. If it's just foil, that's okay too. Okay, now I'm nervous. There's at least a foil in here, and that may be all it is. Is that all it was? Oh my god, you guys. Oh my gosh. Searing Truth, Exceptional Magic of Infernal Inquiry. I'm shaking. Target player draws and reveals 2 spells, then takes damage equal to their higher mana cost. That's good and all. But I'm shaking because I think I see something really cool in here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just bought this box. I'm shaking. I bought this box Not yesterday. No. Okay, I'll shut up. I'll stop talking. You guys. I'm an idiot! Ah! No! Oh, I'm so stupid. I saw that. And I thought it was the Realm Eater Curio. I'm literally... Sorry about that. Sorry to myself. I thought we just pulled like a $1,000 card. I was like, you guys, we're going to sell this and we're going to buy a whole case and rip through it. I'm literally shaking. I'm so dumb. I thought that was like almost meant to be because I just happened to be talking about curios and then I'm like, oh, the Realm Eater Pro. I'm like, oh, that was not it. Not it. Let me reread this then. Sorry about that. How do I get back in the mood to open stuff after that? Let's see. Oh yeah. So target player draws and reveals 2 spells and then takes damage equal to their higher mana cost. So the player takes the damage. So that could be really good in like a lower power deck where you wouldn't take as much damage. Oh, okay. I gotta shake it off. It's all good. It's all good. It's not normal to get a curio, but that I thought like this might be my big viral moment, and it wasn't. All good, all good. Hey, that's a unique. And is this in the precons? I hope not. But it's 7 and 7. Maybe this isn't the precons, but it's a unique undead dragon, risen in ruin. It has airborne, and it says tap. Deal 3 damage to each other unit at a target nearby location. Okay. Then summon a skeleton token there for each unit that died. Okay. I think that's in the precons. Still cool. So we're at 4 of our uniques. We probably have 3 left in this pile here. And then we have 5 foils so far. So at least 2 more in there. And definitely a curio, right, guys? Oh, I'm exhausted after that. I was like, oh my god, you guys, it's a white border. There's no cards in this game that have white borders. Yeah, how about the cards whose art are just white on the edges? Oh my gosh. I'm literally shaking. I don't think I can switch over to just talking and opening packs after that. Oh man, shake it off, shake it off. Oh, so there's also a curio in the form of Desecrate where it does not have the crucifix. So if you see a Desecrate, or if you've opened some and you think you might have one that doesn't have the crucifix, that's a curio. So just FYI. Mudslide, really cool. It's one of the cards that affects a column, and it's in water. And it says Genesis, slide all units at land sites in a column 1 step to the left or right. So it has to assume that your opponent has land sites, and as opposed to water sites. Oh, I thought that was the core. Still looks cool though. What is that? The Blightstone, an elite relic of unbearable scrutiny. This sight is disabled. Oh, that's cool. Within its unwavering gaze, ambition falters. So if you are just able to get this onto one of your opponent's sites, there's going to be a lot of sites that really have hard countering effects against things in this set. I think there's River of Blood to help against Ring of Mortar. You guys, it's a curio. You guys, I did it. I got a curio. Oh. I'm less embarrassed and less disappointed and more just exhausted. That was just tiring. Really cool art, by the way. By Michael. That's just awesome. What beautiful art in this game. Zombie Bruiser, I gotta read this really quick. You can pay 4 to sacrifice a skeleton token and then summon this from your cemetery there. Very cool. So yeah, just in the like Necromancer summon decks. This card, okay, I want to actually just pause for a sec. So as I was building like my water deck with frogs and Submerge, Dredge seemed like, oh, this seems great. Thematically it seems to fit or do exactly what I'm doing, right? But what? Okay, it says surface everything at a target water site and then summon 2 skeleton tokens there. It does sound good, and I still may run one copy, because if I have things underwater, I'm playing the Draconis that also submerges and things like that, and then, because I guess the benefit is the act of coming up out of the water is a step, so you do this to surface everything, you create 2 skeletons, and then you move and attack with everything that just surfaced in like all directions, like the frogs, and then maybe you have an effect to transform one of the skeletons you just summoned that doesn't have, well, you probably want to do it to something that doesn't have summon sickness. You get my point. But anyways, just trying to figure out if it's worth playing this. I also want to play this Gnarled Wendigo. It's 6 mana, 1 water threshold, and 5 power. It's an exceptional monster, and it says this costs 2 less to cast for each minion that you sacrifice at its summoning location. So this felt to me perfect to play in my water frog deck. I have 2 frogs at a location. I sacrifice them both. This only costs 2 mana to get a 5 power guy on the field. I mean, that to me, that sounds really, really potentially good. So I will definitely be playing at least 1 or 2 of those. Release the hounds. Summon 2 hellhounds from your collection to your avatar's location and they get charge. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Again, not really my kind of archetype, but still very cool nonetheless. And maybe someday I will want to build a red deck. I want to build all sorts of decks with this set over the next year. I hope that every event I go to that is like a kind of a casual tournament as opposed to a cornerstone, I hope to always bring a different deck, even if it's bad. Our next unique. Wow, that's cool. It's only 1 mana, but it does require 3 fire thresholds. So you either need one of those like double fire sites that just came out, or 3 mana or 3 different sites. It's a unique magic binds. Hang on, unique magic binds wound and will. Blood mana. The next spell you cast this turn costs life instead of mana. That's so weird. So again, there's got to be a lot of effects. I've seen a couple of cards, but there must be a lot more in this set than I appreciate for wanting to deal damage to yourself. Like anytime you deal damage on your turn, you deal that to them instead, something like that. The next spell you cast this turn costs life instead of mana. But that also means that you don't need the mana to cast something. So if you have 20 life and you play this, you can spend 8 life and get an 8 power thing on the field. So that's probably where this is used. It says magic is easy. You just open a vein and bleed, is what it says. That's pretty grim. Really cool art by Aronja Art, who has quickly become one of my new kind of Mount Rushmore artists. I've really become a fan. Brian Smith, Dan Seagrave, and Drew Tucker are definitely up there for me. Elvira. Brian Wackwitz, Aronja Art, really love Linz Danforth. I mean, I could probably keep going, actually. I probably have a top 10 right now, but I'm new to the game. I'm just kind of slowly becoming a fan of the different artists. Let me just do a inventory here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 packs left. Very nice. This is fun. Well, again, hitting the unique rack foil, I think has been our biggest hit so far. Interrogator's also cool. I don't know if it's worth any money. I actually would love to look that up really quick. Interrogator price for sorcery. It is like $3, so not worth much. And then the rack foil. Whoa, I see it listed as $135. Heck yes. Again, the set just came out, so that's bound to change. But that is a box of Gothic. It's like I get all these cards, I sell that card, get another box of Gothic, and just try to keep going. I'd almost love to do... Sorry, I keep pausing my voice. My wife's going in and out of our room, and our son is trying to get to sleep, and my voice carries everywhere when that door is open. You might hear him crying. He's fine. He's just going to sleep. Sorry for the noise. Wow, this looks cool. I'm glad we pulled this. I think this might be our last or second to last unique. But it's a vampire. Oh, sorry. five mana, 2 air threshold, and 4 power. And it says an undead now recognized among the elite. So it probably has something to do with elite cards before I even read the text. There's a few cards that like someone who doesn't love commoners, like so the common cards are, or ordinaries rather. Anyways, it is airborne and it says Renatus Trueblood's Strike. Oh, it just has elite capitalized. Okay. It's because it's elite. I'm an idiot. I thought this was unique. It's not. It's an undead, not unique. Sorry, I thought this was unique because I saw a U there. I'm so used to that. It is an elite. That's why that's capitalized. Sorry. An undead now recognized among the elite. It's airborne and it says its strike damage against units heals you. So this is literally it's a Dapple vampire, you know, but instead of, I think Dapple's 4 for 5 power, this is 5 for 4 power. And that's kind of interesting actually. Is it just a worse one? That makes me want to look up Dapple Vampire really quick if you guys don't mind. I need to check. It is forgive me. I must know. It's 5. Oh, it's the same. Okay, so it's 5. Dapple Vampire is 5 mana for 4 power with airborne, and it just got errated to say that damage dealt by it to units heals you. And this says it's the same thing. It's the same card, actually, but it requires 1 additional threshold than a vampire. So it's actually worse than a vampire. It's also undead. So I'm just looking at the difference between this and Dapple Vampire. It's literally the same card, but worse, but it's in the elite slot. But what it does allow is that decks that are already running 3 copies of a vampire can now have a 4th and a 5th Dapple Vampire. That's what that does, I guess. It's just kind of funny that it's worse. Maybe they didn't want to add another exceptional because then there'd be 6 vampires that could be in your deck. Rather, they're like, let's just give them 2 more, so we'll make it elite, and it's worse. So that makes Dapple Vampire very, very, very good. If that's like the power level of that, they clearly must know is like kind of a ceiling for cards like that. Man, that was so fun pulling that unique, right, guys? Maybe someday. Oh, I'm missing some. Oh, I forgot to open this pack. I opened this, set it down, and then forgot to open it. So here's like maybe this is our curio pack, the one that's been sitting here all along. Oh, I got really excited just seeing something kind of barren. Almost looks very, very, very special. It's our second copy of Crucifix. Genesis, return each evil minion here to its owner's hand, and then evil minions can't enter that location. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Thematically cool. I doubt I would personally put it in a constructed deck. Ooh, a foil Shogoth. Shogoth is only ordinary, so it's not super crazy, but that's still pretty neat. Nice. I think this is my second. Maybe not. No, I just remember seeing like the little guy down here. So maybe I think this is my first copy. Foil. I forget. This is my third box I've opened. I opened 1 box on camera. That was the first one. The video you guys saw me open, if you happen to watch my previous, that was my first box. I opened a second box off camera. I don't really know why. I think I'll probably always open my box on camera, because what if I did pull a curio and I didn't record it, you know? Feels like a waste as a new YouTube channel. But something about, and there's another pack that I opened and then didn't continue with. So this pack I just opened, let me set it down, and let me get back in order here. So here's a pack. Here's a pack I was about to open. Then I noticed the previous pack, went to that instead, and then forgot this. So this and then that. Don't let me forget. Hands of Glory. Just such a cool art. So strange. It's like a rib cage of fingers or a fan of fingers. It's just so something about it. It's really, really cool. Nice. Shackled Demon. Really love the art. I'd love to get a foil of this card because I have seen the full art in the interview with Juan Machuca on the what is it? The Collector Art House YouTube channel. That name always escapes me and I have to keep looking it up. I'm so sorry. I keep wanting to say like Collective Archive or sorry about that. Really, really cool YouTube channel you guys should check out. Again, if you ever see a bow on this, that's the curio, and you just got, I don't know how much curios generally go for that aren't like, I guess all curios are probably worth a lot of money, but imagine some are worth like $500 where some are worth 1,000, you know? Like if we pulled, oh yeah, sorry. And then, like if we pulled the Realm Eater curio that I thought I just opened, I think that's in the 1,000 range. Which to me would be like, well, let's get a case. Like that's how I would use it personally. Maybe I'd even use the 600 to just buy all the singles I need. Just like, well, I'm going to get the complete set actually, but ripping a bunch of more boxes. Oh, I had a thought a moment ago before and I forgot to finish the thought. I would love to do, oh, my little guy's trying to go to sleep. Poor little guy. I'd love to do the booster box game that people like Tolarian Community College do, or if you've never seen it, essentially you rip open a box, you list the price of what it costs. So Gothic's, you know, average $150 per box. That may go up or down, but let's say that's your threshold, 150. You open the box, and if you opened at least $150 worth of value, you open another box. So in this case, I believe we have. I think this is worth at least $100. So we go, sweet, time to open another box, and you just keep going. Now you have to promise to sell probably like this card, you'd have to sell it to fund that next box you just opened. Like for me personally, because I'm not Moneybags Magoo. If we get that curio, we'll be Moneybags Magoo, at least for a case or two. Homecoming, minions here, gain tap, gain 1. Pretty cool. Thematically, if you're doing kind of like a soldier's deck, could be pretty fun. Love the Carrion Beetles. It looks like an elite to me, but it's just an ordinary. Oh, we got probably our last foil in the form of a foil River of Blood. That's cool. That is cool. This is the Aronja art version. There's a promo version as well that I also own. If anyone's interested, I'm not sure if I want to sell my promo. It's River of Blood, Fields of Fixus, and Haystack that I got from the desk store. I bought it in anticipation for SCGCon Las Vegas and ended up not using them because I was playing water and none of those sites are water threshold. So I actually lent it to someone, shout out to Ghost, as he's known as in the Discord. I lent it to him and his partner to play in, I think they were playing a casual constructed event. Anyways, I don't necessarily need them, I guess is my point. I really like the promo arts. Maybe I will keep them. But I don't know if they're worth a lot of money, but if they were, I'd be willing to sell them. Cool, Necromancer. To, you know, I'm like, you know, I have like those promo swap cards that are worth $50 a piece. I personally want to sell them because there's regular swaps in here. I don't need the promo version. I just want a play set of every card. Excuse me. 4 fat frogs. So again, like this is what my deck will be doing. Just a bunch of frogs here, a bunch of frogs there, and we'll see how much I can exploit the frogs. All right, I gotta look how much this card costs because it's my second copy. And if this is kind of like the booster box game, I think we've made enough money that I could justify opening another box this week, which I have some boxes already coming in the mail. I think tomorrow. So if they do come in, I'll do another unboxing. But let me just make you guys wait for one more card here. Temple of the Moloch. Sorcery. TCG player price. And we'll see what comes up. Just my reference for now. 45 bucks? What? Woo! Wow. The market price is at 60. But again, this set just came out, so, you know, it's all in the air. But I have 2 copies of this. Hey, if anyone is looking to trade for this, reach out to me. If anyone wants to buy it cash, that's probably preferred. But if you're looking to trade it all, let me know. Again, I'm looking for specifically a Putrid Presence. I would even consider trading just this for a Putrid Presence, which I think is like a really, really bad deal for me. But I really want 1 copy of Putrid Presence. So I don't want to like promise that and hold to that. But if anyone, you know, has a Putrid Presence and maybe wants to make a deal, please reach out to me. I'm going to be making a post on the marketplace Discord. Obviously, like, want to buy, and I'm sure someone will sell me one or trade for me one. But if anyone in this community happens to have a card that I'm looking for or wants to buy something that I open here, and I mention that I'm looking to sell it. I don't want to say I'd rather sell to you guys, but I'd be really happy to do that, considering you guys are viewers of mine. Honestly, I don't know these cards, so I'm going to read these ones. Bear with me here. 4 power, an exceptional monster bites the hand that feeds. Genesis, sacrifice a minion or Slobbermaw deals 4 damage to you. That's cool. Maybe I have seen that, but anyways, it's a new set. I got to remind myself what these guys do. This has movement +1 in Void Walk in Fire Threshold. Very cool. Breaks the barrier, that monster. Forsaken Crypt. This one says you may cast a ghoul from your collection to this site, which is the 3-powered Air Threshold ghoul. And we got a Paladins of Bazia. I'm actually glad we got this just because the art is really cool. I saw Kitchen Table Gaming, I think is his, I'm forgetting all. I need to forgive me if I'm giving the wrong shout outs. Anyways, I was watching his channel earlier and he pulled this and I was like, man, that'd be really cool to pull. And we just got it. Elite Mortals at Dawn's First Service. It's a spellcaster and it comes in with ward. So Earth seems to be like wanting to do the ward stuff. I could be wrong about that. There might be that in all colors, but that's my impression. At the breaking of light, they emerge, not to greet the day, but to judge it worthy. Huh, cool. Cool. Looking for curios. But I only open 1 box at a time, so it's not likely I'll ever get one. That's okay. More likely to get a foil unique of something like an Aether Core than a curio. Curios are extremely... I think curios... I actually don't know the ratio. I'm just going to pull a number out of thin air, but I think it's like for every like 10 cases, there's 1 curio or something crazy, which would be every like 60 boxes. Very, very, very rare. I'd love to see 1 more unique, but I also don't think we will, and that's okay. We've gotten... I don't really care at this point. False Idol. 6 mana, really cool art by Juan Machuca. My man! Yes! I'm such a new fan of his. An elite relic of misplaced devotion. That's cool. It's got the cow, False Idol. It's a biblical reference. Whenever a nearby minion taps, its opponent draws a spell. Whoa. Okay, how could you abuse that? You play that, you would need minions that have tap abilities, but you could also just move. Moving counts as tapping, right? Because you tap and then you move. So that would work too, a nearby minion tap. So that if you played this on your home site and you had a frog, for example, on every site around it, or maybe even on it, right? So all 6, you could play this and then say, all right, I'm going to move. I'm going to tap to move here. That counts as a tap. I draw a spell. I'm going to tap to move an attack. Draw a spell. You could do... Okay, I'll consider... 6 is a lot. It's probably not realistic, but I'm going to give that some thought. Because again, like I said, moving... I believe you tap and then you move is the way that basic action works. I should probably... The more I play, one last pack. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. Please consider subscribing. Again, I do all sorts of content right now on this channel as it's new, being like event recap videos, audio cast, kind of like podcast videos. But this is also kind of I'll try to mix in a podcast almost within the unboxing, if that makes sense. So it's less about what I'm ripping and just that we're just kind of having a conversation. But the cards we're pulling are what prompt the conversation. And our final, it's just an exceptional, but this is definitely one of my top 10s, I think, in this set as far as artwork, by Pedro Ferreira. An exceptional sight that opens its ruby lips. And it says, Genesis, if you have 2 Fire Threshold, which this just needs to be the second one, you may cast a Hellhounds from your collection at this site. That's cool. So you get the 3 power collection card. But you've got this kind of who does this look like, right? Looks like Gandalf. And for whatever reason, the fire is coming straight out of here. So is that him or is that the minion that just like, took a big stomp in the ground and it cracked, releasing this? And then is the flame only going that high or did it go into the clouds? I think it's the clouds. So it's shooting up so high that you can't see the top of them. And it's just really, really, really cool. And our final rare for this box, I'll see you guys because... Again, we pulled this and we pulled one of these. So I think we have considering I'm not selling anything else, probably, but the cards that I want to sell, being like this is like $5, but this and this would be the ones I would sell. I mean, at least right now with the market prices, let's just call it $200. Let's even call it like 175, right? So I think that justifies cracking another box. I was planning to crack that box open anyway, but tomorrow night, let's do another one. And our final is a Forgotten Tomb, which I don't think I have yet. An elite site that honors a long lost past. Genesis, search your top 5 spells for a minion to discard and then bottom the rest. Maybe I have seen this. Really cool artwork either way. I'm just, again, looking to get one card of kind of every, get a full play set of everything in this set. So anything is good. And then any, oh, cool. We did get one last foil. That's funny. In the form of a makeshift barricade, a hilarious card. Since it's the last one, I'll go ahead and read it, but let's look at the full art really quick. That's great. I don't think there's any Easter eggs. Looks like there's some, oh, they put like a little like scary face in the wood, I think, here. But otherwise, I think that's it. And maybe that's me overlooking. And there's like a signature of the artist there. But you can see that in the normal one. That's cool. Shines on his eyes and the chicken's eyes. I think that's really well done. It's an ordinary monument for the chicken-hearted. And if one or more allies here would take damage, prevent it. But if the damage is 3 or more, the barricade breaks. So they have to swing for 3 is what that sounds like. I don't think you could do like 3, like attack for 1 and then attack for 1 and then attack for 1. It has to be 3 to break it. So it actually could be pretty useful, at least like in limited or something. Alrighty. And that is the box. So again, our biggest hits were definitely the rack foil. We got an elite foil. And then we got the Temple of Malak. I wonder if you guys don't mind, I'm going to look up one last card. And then we'll wrap up the video. City of Plenty. Just to see where we're at. It says $10. Cool. Yeah, because I just have an extra copy, so I don't need it. So I'll post that probably on the marketplace. I don't know why that's there. All right. Yeah. Again, thanks. I'm pretty new and I'm still getting used to doing these unboxing videos. So I don't know if it's like weird that I don't put in timestamps for my rips or anything. Treat this more of a podcast and let me know if you have any criticism or any thoughts on how I'm doing this in case there's some things that I could be doing a little bit better. Please let me know. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys, I think, tomorrow with another unboxing because I have one coming in. I'm excited. And we ripped enough that I'm going to sell to justify it. So let's do it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.